space.
In
the
space.
Maybe. I mean, we had root in the sea, and we had root. So is this root in space? So it is basically a strategy game for 2 to 4 players set in a dark yet silly universe. Ready yourself for dramatic twists and turns as you launch into this galactic struggle. This is Twilight Imperium leader game style.
Dark and silly?
Dark and silly.
That sounds like this universe.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's currently the universe we're in right now, isn't it? Is it dark yet silly? So, yeah, not bad. Hey Misfits, it's time for another Under the Lid, and today we're talking about Arcs by Leader Games. I was super excited for this, and I love Leader Games. Leader Games has a special place in my heart, definitely up there with one of my top people. And they were actually one of the first people that was super nice to the Misfits out of the gate. Like everybody there were just super awesome, and they have a style that I love. Root is still one of my favorite, and well, for me, most often thought about games because I can't get to the table as much as I'd like. But it was one of those early games that I fell in love with. One of the early Dice Towers. Root's been out for a long while now, and it's kind of one of those games that helped pull me in a bit to kind of the heavier strategy games, because Root is kind of sort of heavy strategy. Anyway, fast forward to today. They've put out a couple other titles since then. A light card game called Fort, which we very much love and have another video on somewhere here. Along with Ahoy, which is also another one. We have a video on that as well. And now to space, Arcs. It's like they're covering all the terrain, right? We got ground, sea, space. That counts as air?
And playgrounds.
And playgrounds, yes. So Arcs looks like, I mean, I don't want to say it's probably not going to be Root in space, as we were joking about. But it looks like a strategy game where you basically, maybe it's like, what's the game, Last Light or whatever. Maybe it's like their Last Light or whatever, right? Maybe it's like a quick 4X game.
I'm sure it's not as overproduced as Last Light.
Yeah, no, not so much. But the thing about Leader Games that I love is they're always consistent. Their art style is always the same. They have the same artist who works on all their stuff.
And they always look cool.
And they always look great. Not just cool, they're freaking awesome. So here's their instruction booklet. Yeah, it looks very much like a kind of a 4X game. You got your space boats in space, right?
Yeah.
But you take actions, have battles, you destroy cities. I get to bomb cities. Do I get to research tech? You have resources, you have guilds. Man, this looks really cool. The question is though, can I battle? Dude, I get to tax people. Oh man. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, you're very taxing.
I was setting you up there, see? There you go. I set you up right there. Best thing about Leader Games is they don't waste time. They give you quick cards. Look at this, right? They are very good at their quick cards, or I should say quick books, because there's a bit to do. Yeah, it looks like there's quite a bit to do. This looks kind of deep. I love it. I was hoping for kind of a Root-esque deep game because the last few were a little light. You know what I mean? And I was hoping for like a more kind of heavier strategy game from them again. I mean, I could always just buy more Root, but they got to make more Root. Here's your cardboard tokens. You declare your ambitions. That's interesting. So you have a little bit of politics in this game, maybe? Like I said, I think it's their Twilight Imperium. Just not like 20 hours to play.
You are.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Here is the game board. There's a lot going on this game board, actually. I like it. Ambitions declared. Lead, surpass, copy, or pivot. Wow. There's a lot going on here.
There's ambitions.
Keeper, empath, warlord, tyrant, and tycoon. That's probably points depending on what you do. I don't think we need that anymore. Woo! It was right in your hand. You're supposed to catch it.
Oh, I thought you were just throwing it at me.
Well, that too. Here is your player boards. Oh look, I like the back. Oh, different species on the back.
Cool.
There's got to be a Klingon in there, right? Yeah.
Something.
Right. Or Orbesh. Is this an Orbesh?
No.
I'm crossing the streams now here, boys and girls. So these are your different character races. Boards all look very similar. Now the thing about Leader Games that I like is that while they have complexity to it, the actual game itself is not like, I don't want to say hard to learn, but the actual mechanics of the game are not difficult. They just use them.
Easy to learn, difficult to master.
Yes, exactly. That is a good way to put it. But Root's not easy to learn.
No, root is not easy to learn. They made Oath too, didn't they?
Yes, they made Oath.
Oath, we couldn't get our heads around.
I did. I taught it poorly. That was on me. That was on me. I got to reteach Oath again. Because I like Oath a lot.
Or we could just learn arcs.
Or, yes, we could just learn arcs. You were not wrong. Because we do like our space games. Right?
Yeah, they're in our wheelhouse.
They are definitely right in our wheelhouse. It's like we're space junkies. Remember back in the day, you know, the 80s?
Yes.
They talked about like going to space.
I hear that was like 40 years ago.
It was 40 years ago. So what did they predict for the future? Like, what did we have movies on? They were like space, like in.
Oh, we were supposed to be living in space by now.
Like, right, like what was Buck Rogers' year?
Oh yeah.
what was it like 99 or what was it? It was like.
Oh no, Buck Rogers. They went farther in the future, but like, you remember Space 1999?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
They were
yeah.
supposed to be on the moon.
On the
have a
moon.
base.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Totally. No, I remember. I thought Buck Rogers was in the 21st century, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 25th century.
Was it 25th century?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, put in the comments below what century Buck Rogers was in. Maybe by the 25th century it might be in space, but I doubt it. More likely it'll be the... Well, actually...
25th century, I know.
Oh, you do know?
Yeah.
You sure? Oh, okay. You know, maybe...
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is probably the most accurate because, what is it? Like, we destroyed our planet and had to live in a biodomes everywhere. Everywhere else is radioactive and everything.
That was pretty much on point.
Which, they got rid of that, actually, later on in Buck Rogers, but the first one was nice and dark. They had, like, apocalypse and everybody was stuck in
There
biodomes.
was mutants and stuff.
Mutants and stuff, yeah. Although if I was stuck in a biodome, I would stuck be in a biodome with Wilma Deering, so I'd be super happy about that. Thank you, Jennifer Grey. I love you.
Is it Jennifer Grey?
Wasn't it Jennifer Grey?
Jennifer Grey was...
Oh, Aaron Grey. I'm sorry, Aaron Grey. Aaron Grey.
Like,
it was Aaron Grey.
Jennifer Grey was in Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, it was Dirty Dancing. No, wrong one.
Aaron Grey.
Aaron Grey. But she was in the that show, The Guild. If anybody remembers, that was Felicia Day's Rise of Stardom. Remember, anybody knows Felicia Day, of course. But Aaron Grey was in that. I love you, Aaron Grey. I take it back. My first crush.
Your first crush?
In space. It's relevant, see? In space. Aaron Grey, my first crush when I was a kid.
Look at those big old chunky dice.
I got weird up in here. That is a really nice chunky dice. I like that. I wonder if these are hits. They look exactly like the...
Probably.
They look like the hits from X-Wing, which... Oh, don't remind me about X-Wing. Oh, that's so very sad. Very sad.
Pour one out for the homies.
Pour one out for X-Wing, yeah. So yeah, we got our symbols, typical leader fashion. They have their own iconography. They don't use typical iconography, although those look like hits just because they're similar. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this game. I'm going to have a lot to learn, I think. This is me and my star trophy, my space trophy. I don't know why I have a space trophy. Maybe I'm the coolest in space.
Ooh, and more stuff.
And here's my space boats. So yeah, these look really cool. These are space boats. They kind of do look like space boats, actually. It's kind of funny. So I think they're all the same. That's interesting. They look really good. They're different colors. Leader has a habit of kind of doing different meeples and stuff. These are kind of all the same, but I do like them a lot. They are kind of space... They pretty much remind me of, like, you know, Yamato or some of those Japanese space boat things. They're kind of dreadnoughty, but also flying boat, like space boats. Kind of like what I said, right? Looks pretty cool. And then, of course, since this is their Twilight Imperium, we have our space races.
Ooh, it's a space race.
It's a space race. Wasn't there supposed to be a space race at 1.2, but then it all went bankrupt? Right? Didn't NASA and everybody go bankrupt and stop going to space for a while? Remember that?
I don't think they went bankrupt. They just
got
bored.
No, they got bored. There's nothing else to do, guys. We're done. Warrior. Feast bringer. Oh, that sounds like a fun guy.
That sounds yummy.
That's somebody's human's leg, probably.
Hey, humans might be a delicacy in the
And a
future.
demagogue, really? I'm not gonna go there. But yes, they have a demagogue.
Don't we all?
Oh, we all. The fuel drinker. Alrighty. Rebel. There you go.
He's a rebel daddy.
Yep. These looks like cool races. Obviously, in keeping with leader style, cute yet dark. Because space is dark. This looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to bust this open and play this. But look at the instruction booklet. Like,
That's a pretty chunky book.
yeah, right. It's going to take us a little while, but I am totally on board with this. So guys, Leader, thank you again for sending us this. You guys are awesome as always. I'm super excited to learn ARCs. and I love a good space game. And you know what? Honestly, I was kind of hoping you would go the space sci-fi route because I honestly don't think anybody does unique strategy better than you guys. So I can't wait to play this, guys. Check it out. Leader Games is out now. I believe the Kickstarter is hit. I think is it only a Kickstarter or is it retail?
Oh, I thought this was coming to retail.
It is coming to retail. They was put it to retail, but I know Kickstarter. The Kickstarter's hit too. Not that long ago. So guys, check it out. Of course, Leader Games, Arcs, very hot right now. In space, no one can hear your scream, but they can sure hear your space boat lasers fire. Pew 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 pew. Until then, of course, game on, guys.